evening and welcome to Laughing Monkey. Terry of Imperium. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Cheers, dude.
Well, if you guys could take a minute and introduce yourselves and what you do, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, my name's Hardip. I'm the lead guitarist for Imperium.
I'm
Welcome.
Ben. I am the vocalist for the band.
I don't usually do a soup to nuts type of thing. I always say it now, I feel like I say it, but I don't know a lot about you guys. I feel like are you kind of new? A couple years? Like, what's the
Yeah.
beginning of your band? Kind of.
Well, we've been going for a while, right? The history of the band goes right back to school, to be fair, but
Okay.
we've released music since 2022, wasn't it, Hardip?
Yeah, 2022. Yeah, that was the first EP that we released.
Yeah, or 2020 or
Okay.
something.
Uh,
Yeah, no, 2022. We released our first song, Here Comes the
Yeah.
Night, in 2020 when COVID hit.
Okay.
And that's when we first started pushing out music and then building from there, basically.
So you've been a band many years prior to that for X amount.
yeah, as a complete band, I think we've been gigging since 2015, maybe.
Oh, nice.
That's when we've done our first gig, and just trying to push it since then, basically.
Well, you guys are tight sounding, so it makes sense. Either you guys were a lot of bands separately, I was going to say, or you've been together for a long time. Because looking at the timeline of albums and how tight you sound as musicians together and separately, feels like you guys are a lot more seasoned than just a younger guys. You know what I mean? So
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
hard. We have only ever really been in Imperium, all of us, to be fair.
mhm.
Yeah, we've never
Um,
been in other bands before.
no,
That's
no,
good. It's rare, but it's good.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
it's a weird one. It's a really long history with us guys, isn't it? But
I
it's
think,
a
yeah,
good
what
one.
makes it is that we were friends before like the band was actually a thing.
yep.
So it's the reason why we're so kind of close as people. And it's more of an enjoyable it's an enjoyable hobby as well as something that we want to push further.
Yeah,
It's a home run when it works because like sometimes when you grow as musicians, all you guys, somebody could not be growing as well as
Yeah.
everyone else, and they're your friend or your mate, and you're like, oh man, they just not keeping up with us, and then it hurts the band, and then it breaks the friendships. Like it can just be like an emotional nightmare. If you guys can all be on the same page, growing together
yeah,
and having that relationship, it's like it's like a bonus.
Yeah, of
But
course. Yeah,
that's where
we
the
find
problems are with
ourselves
some
in a
bands,
bit of
so
a yeah, we find
that,
ourselves in a bit of a unique position where, we are all on the same page. We all want to go in the same direction. We're all on an individual journey as well as a collective journey. So we're all kind of there or thereabouts with each other.
yeah. It's cool. I mean, it
what do you?
is so many people, so many other
Yeah,
bands are formed of people that have come in and stuff like that, and that's cool. That's cool. But I just find like we haven't stopped having fun once.
No, it's always a good
that's
laugh.
good.
This thing so far, yeah,
Well, I think the less fun you have is the more successful you get. I'm not sure how that goes in the industry.
yeah. I'm ready to hate everyone.
You're gonna hate everybody, but then you made it when you just hate everybody, and you
Yeah,
have to do
yeah,
something because
exactly.
you have to do a show. No, I mean it's possible. I joke, but I mean it is funny. I mean, but listen to your sound. I love the sound because it has an old school style to it, but it also sounds new. Is that
Yeah,
on purpose? Because I feel like you have got a lot older like thrash influences, maybe, but you're also
Yeah,
a
yeah. I
younger
think
band. You guys are younger.
you can hear kind of like the old school thrash, but kind of Bay Area
Yeah.
type influence, and that's what we kind of grew up on. It's not intentional to kind of play that
Mhm.
way. It's just what comes out. That's
That's what I
the
like about it. I heard, I was like, oh, I
yeah
like this. It feels, but it doesn't feel dated like it's an older, like you're trying to be a classic retro band. It just feels like that's part of your sound.
it's
yes yeah yeah
it's like when you think about the history of the band, like there was so much playing together before it ever was with for Hardip and Scott in particular, the two guitarists, before
Mhm.
they ever even thought about being a proper band. They were playing for years and just playing what they wanted to hear. And
Nice.
that's kind of Imperium coming together with a few other people
Yeah.
jumping and joining the crew. It kind of just become like, what do you want to hear rather than here's here's what we should sound like or this is what we've got to
Okay.
do. Like what is Imperium and what is us? Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
when you say like, oh, you've got a classic sound and stuff, just because it's what we wanted to play and fucking hear. It's cool.
It's the thing that stand out for me. Your vocals, you sing, and you can you get deep vocals. You have a great singing voice, which is kind of
Thank
great to put in there. But also at the same time, the guitars do the same thing, where there's like a melody underneath things at times too, that kind of weaves in and out and sneaks in and out, which kind of catches you. You're like, oh wait, I wasn't even like. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of just like subliminal hooks. You know, it's just like it seems like you're being deep voice, but also it's kind of catchy, or like the guitars kind of sneak in a riff there in the music off the two EPs and not what I've heard so far off the new album. Is that kind
Yeah.
of just how you guys are writing, or is that just kind of how you guys just are, and it's just you
I
just kind
think
of build
it's
it up that way?
Yeah, I think it's evolved into that. I think, there was a couple of songs that we done in the previous EP where we kind of added a bit more melody than our previous songs to that. And then
Mhm.
we found that worked, a lot better for us. And
Yeah,
it made us push us, even more like, with the layered guitars and, Ben doing like the big choruses and, like really like, yeah, big vocals in a
hmm
general sense. It kind of worked better for us.
I think
Yeah,
it allows you to stand in your own lane, where you're kind of your own sound, and you
yeah.
can kind of lean more towards a heavier show, or even if
Yeah.
there's a classic band tour, you could open for them because your sound,
It's
leans that way
very
too.
it's the easiest way to say it. It's quite kind of hard because it's just too obvious, but it's very accessible. You can find us
Yeah.
on the stage next to many different types of genre,
hmm
heavy metal, thrash. We've played against alongside everyone, so it's we just find ourselves fitting and creating the energy that's needed to be next to whatever band. I mean, going on
Right.
tour with Venom and Devastator, you kind of were like, well, they're both like black and roll and they've got all this vibe, but you
We
know,
seem to fit.
we fit wherever, man. We'll just turn the energy up.
Right.
We'll make it more. We'll give it more energy through vocals and all of this stuff. It just suits, man. We do whatever we need to do. But yeah, that's kind of like the cool thing about what I found. Us guys are just capable of just going, right, we're playing this with these guys. Let's choose some thrashier songs for the set. Let's do some
Yeah.
heavy stuff. And it works. It's just fun, man.
Yeah, going back to what
Well,
Ben said, like, we play what we want to hear. Like we've never wanted to force anything. I think, yeah, that's never, it's not that we want to do, but if we did it, it's never going to sound right. And, it's not going to sound like us. So,
mhm.
we just, this is the stuff that we want to hear and this is the stuff that we're going to put out.
Well, hey, I was listening to you, but I just distracted and been drinking from like a barrel of juice. But anyway,
Second
sorry.
one today.
It's like 3 feet tall. But anyway, it's like a
Yeah.
small
Stay
person.
stay hydrated, people.
Yeah, I guess it'd be totally hydrated. I'd be soaked if I drank that. It'd be, but well, I think as a band though, you do always want to follow your own sound. I think the minute you start to chase the successful sound, the successful album, the whatever, it's
Mm.
almost doomed. You might get one or two good albums or one or good, you know what I mean, short
Yeah,
span, because then you're
Yeah,
chasing
of
the
course.
fans what you're supposed to do, and you're guessing to be something that's a trend, you
it's so
know.
true.
Yeah.
We just
And
like
you guys
pushing
can
the
go,
limit.
sounds can go up and down. You know what I mean? There's many of our big bands, you know. I think
Yeah,
one time Metallica's been pop cool and then not cool and cool. They haven't changed they don't change the sound. You know what I'm saying? Like any band.
that's
Yeah. The interesting thing is that we don't know what our next songs or albums going to sound like.
Yep.
So,
yeah. We've
it's
got a couple
always
of like
it's always
ideas,
evolving.
but nothing
I just think
is
that that
there.
ingredient, heavy but melodic, with some kind of melody somewhere in there, whether it's thrashy, singing, guitar, somewhere sneaked in there, is
Hmm.
your secret recipe for you guys that makes you different. How you
Yeah.
do it is going to be depending on the song, you know.
Yeah.
But
I
it
love
leaves
it
you
when
open,
people,
I think, too, to doing other type of music, you know. Also, you could lean more melody or heavier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've left it open.
yeah, there's room to like do whatever, mate. This is the thing. This is what I love. Like, and I think me and Hardip, like, when we talk about me and him have spoken about doing an acoustics album and stuff like that
Yeah,
because
that'd be cool.
why can't you experiment? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many avenues to go down, and I think one of the key reasons that we're kind of standing out a little bit at the moment is because we're not trying to fit a narrative or a
Right.
genre popular. We don't really give a fuck about all that stuff. We just want to play like what we want to play. And if that
Yeah.
is the next album's like we could go and do black metal, couldn't we, man? We could do whatever we want. But we won't
Do
because
whatever you want.
we know we
No.
it's not what we want to get up on stage and do, but if there might be one song that's super heavy, like, have you heard, you haven't heard the rest of the album yet, right?
I have not. And honestly, it's very odd that I don't have the album first. I usually have the album sent to me before the release. So you're one of the few bands I've actually interviewed without hearing the whole album. 'Cause I heard your other
Well,
stuff though, and
so
so
I'm
obviously I
excited
like what I
because
heard, and Tony's you know a good influence to
Tony is an
move
influence.
ahead. Yeah,
He's an absolute hero, man.
he is. He's a good guy. Yeah. So I've not heard the rest of the album. I like the two songs. Yeah, Tony was a good pick for it. Not just from he's a great person, but vocally, it really fits so well.
Yeah.
The performance because, and I've listened to the song a couple times now, and then I listened to the other song, the Exodus Unknown Exodus, and the vocals. And what's interesting is that Tony's vocals doesn't take away from the type of music it is because there's a similarity in the strength and the style.
Mm.
So it's not like, well, I kind of like it because you're not going to even guess sing it. They're like, well, I kind of wish the band had that singer because it can
Yeah.
go against you in a way. And then
Yeah.
the type of singer is totally different. And then
Mate,
everyone's like, well, the first person we heard was somebody different. So Tony's voice kind of works with you.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've heard so many different versions of guest vocalists come and do
Mhm.
stuff. Sometimes they've been exactly the same as the main vocals or
Right.
too far stretched from the opposite. And it just really was a weird thing because it was an off chance to ask Tony to do this
Mhm.
anyway. But I had this thing where I was like, we've got to like do something maybe one day, and then I didn't really think about it, and or make it like, oh, we have to. But I was like, why don't
Yep.
we ask Tony? Because we got a good relationship with him. He's like
Mhm.
a legend to us, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna ask him flat out. Just ask this dude, who's like such a high caliber. Um,
Mhm.
in the scene, and you know, he was like, "Yeah, 100%."
Oh
And
yeah.
like, full respect to him because he didn't come in and try and be, you know, this song's about whatever. As if you know Tony, his personality is
Oh
just
yeah.
so good,
So
like
humble, isn't he?
so humble, and he just came in and added to it in such a powerful way, man. Like it works so well, as you said. It fit, it's just that extra gravel needed to make that
Right.
song what it is, and it's so sick to hear.
But yeah, I mean, it adds to it in a way, and and of course, having a guest singer helps bring in an audience, but it's
Mm,
the right audience, and it helps give credibility if somebody who's earned themselves in the music industry some respect to come
yeah.
in and he's more than earned himself. I can't wait
Mm.
for these new albums to come out. But it
Oh,
lends
man.
credibility to I came across you guys because of that. You know what I mean? We're talking
Yeah,
now just
yeah,
because of that, and like within a couple minutes, I said, "Hey, you guys could come on," and Tony like within 2 minutes had it set up. So that wouldn't have happened without that. So, but
this is it.
also the danger of doing that. If I went to that vocal and the next thing was something totally different, it would have been odd. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because I would like, oh, I don't know what the band sound is because it's always hard to kind of grasp it, and then you go back at the other songs. Um, but this fits it. I think of a band like you has different singers, different vocals. You want to be more established. I always think personally. So then you're not
mm,
taking away from the singer.
yeah,
Or if you have a guest
yeah.
guitarist, you don't want to have the guitarist. You know what I mean? You don't want to take away from your sound. You want to be established first. You
No,
don't want to
exactly.
confuse anybody.
So
And
it was a
and Tony doesn't. You know what I mean? They're not going to get confused
yeah,
who you
it
are.
was a risk because we never knew what it would sound like. We had an idea. I had the song, the lyrics, and when Tony came down, like as well, like he actually came to the studio to do this whilst we were recording. He had all the options to not do that. He could have recorded at his house, sent us his version, but he came down and was a part of Imperium for the day, and it was when it's sick, Hardip.
Yeah, it was such a great experience.
It was cool as hell, man.
Yeah.
And
It was just like another friend, like the sixth member just coming down, like,
yeah,
and yeah, as Ben said, like it wasn't like, I'm Mr. Venom Inc. or this is how we're gonna do it. He was just, all right, lads, what do you want me to do? Goes in there, just cracks it, smashes it out with a
Hmm.
bottle of whiskey. So it was, yeah, it's
yeah,
a great experience.
and
And it works so well. He's been touring and recording a lot and playing, so he's in
mate,
prime
busy,
condition.
busy.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah,
also in that mindset. So when did the album come out completely? Singles? We got going on for people to expect.
singles are done now. We are
Yeah.
talking literally. what, a day? Friday?
Yeah,
That's
Friday the whole
amazing.
album drops.
Okay, cool.
So very, very.
Excellent.
Very
Very
excited
Um,
excited, huh?
about that.
yeah, man. Oh my God. It's do you know when like you are I don't know, man. Like as a band, I've always thought like the album was day one.
Hmm.
So to be this close to it, I'm just itching for it to be out now. We've got such good reviews so far. They have been amazing. And
Mm.
reading what people think about stuff, you've always got that. It's subjective anyway. You've got to take everything with a, and you just got to work on with it. But so
And
far,
then they're wrong. If they don't like it, they're wrong. If they like it, they've got good taste. And
yeah,
you keep that attitude with you forever.
That's exactly what we say.
yeah,
That's I built my whole career on that, my whole life on that.
yeah.
But I also want to compliment you because like in iTunes, I always hate when there's like a million singles and they don't go to anything. You've actually got your singles that actually belong in EP, so I can just listen to two EPs
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
have to mess around with making all kinds of playlists and stuff. So thank you for that. Makes me crazy when there's a million singles, but they
Yeah.
eventually don't go anywhere. Like if they go somewhere eventually, that's one thing. But some people just keep releasing singles and they go nowhere. And then you got to
Well,
like
it's
re-edit it and make it together. You know,
yeah. It makes no sense to me. The
they should
new
all have a home at some
as
point.
a album as a band trying to release music nowadays, the best way to do it online is to release
Yeah,
single because it just provides more content. But that ain't what we've grown up looking at. We're still waiting for like physical magazines to start talking about us,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
When are we going to be on like MTV and the Cribs? Where is that now? But we're waiting
Right?
for that like stuff.
Cribs. It's so funny. Cribs.
This is my house.
My house is my crib.
It's
That's
my
pretty funny.
wall.
I think the closest you're going to get to that now is Bus Invaders, which is another statement, another stamp of approval, right? You
Yeah,
know, that,
yeah,
Yeah.
mate.
that's the rock and roll version of Cribs is Bus Invaders because it's real,
Yeah,
and the fans like that. So to me, that's probably the best. That's good street cred for me. I like that show.
that's
Um,
pretty.
touring for the year or
Huh?
into next year. Like, what are we looking at for now? Because now you got the album coming out. Now you got to work
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Plans, shows. I mean, we're still in the middle of summer ish. So what are we looking at
What are you saying, Hard?
for shows?
So in terms of shows, we've got our album release show in next week, next Friday.
Hmm.
So that's going to be a big one. That's in Camden in London. 2 weeks after that, we are playing the Sophie stage at Bloodstock Festival.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Think,
That's a
So
big one. That's
we
a big one.
yes, it's going to be a massive one, considering it's their 25th anniversary as well. So really buzzing for that one. In
it's gonna
terms
be
of the rest of the year, we've got a few festivals coming up, a few local festivals, but we really want to kind of hit the ground running and plan for next year. So come January, we're going to be off touring the album. So we still need to work on dates and locations. So I think 2027 is going to be our year. This year, which there's a few tester gigs, test out the album and stuff like that. So.
I
it's
mean,
all
you
been
guys are
quite
so young as a band. You guys should, play like a million clubs. You know what I mean? You just dropped off. I don't know. We'll see if
yeah.
he pops back on, right?
I-
He may have just, I don't know what happened. If it comes up admit anyhow. Yeah, you guys being a young band, I'd say play as much as you can. Build up
yeah,
your audience, you know what I mean? Get the loyalty. This is about the loyalty years
exactly.
too.
And we've actually built a really, really decent fan base around the
Yeah.
UK. And it's been a whole, I'd say a good since we've been playing live for probably about 8 years.
Hmm.
And just getting around the country as much as we can, and that's been so good for us. But this
Oh,
year,
that's the most important thing for a band to do is to play as
yeah,
much as they can.
you have to. But this year we tactically pulled back a little bit and played great rather than everything, just to
Hmm.
make ourselves a bit more exclusive around the UK.
Right.
Because we've done a tour last year, we went to Europe this year as last year as well, and done quite a few cool things. But this year we just like, look, let's get the album because, as I was saying, like it really is day one when we bring it out, and
Right.
I'm personally so I'm two-footed about as much as I can be, right? But sometimes you've got to have someone with a bit of authority say, right, you're not going to do anything crazy until day one.
Yeah.
So as much as you want to build a tour and you want to go mental and stuff like that, yes, you've been playing for 8 to 10 years this year until that album's out. So hold back,
Right.
then you can start talking
Energy.
tours because you've then got something to sell. And it's been very tactical this year, which is cool and makes sense. But
Well,
label management
yeah.
is good to us and
Well, it's
explain.
not to keep good management because that's, because a lot of bands I talk to, I've been in this position. Don't they're like, oh, they'll release an album and then you're like, well, they have one or two shows and do a lyric video, which
Yeah.
is great. The problem is you're good. It's not going to go anywhere no matter how good you are because,
Yeah, we're
and you
alive.
also you survive. Yeah, but you survive in the lean years from your audience when you can play shows. If you do a festival and then you're driving to you go to the next festival, you can hit
Yeah,
three towns for gas money and T-shirts or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. This is
And
it.
whatever it is. I mean, because you've built up that audience. That's the lean years. Because you've got that dedication because you were there.
Yeah,
You
mate.
know.
And that's the truth, man. Like nothing's more real than playing live. As much
I mean,
as
you don't
that,
want to lose money too. I get that too, and it's hard. I get the finances and the gas is hard. But
yeah.
as much as you can do, you really want to kind of do that.
This is it, man.
You know.
About Hardip.
Yes.
Welcome
Um,
back.
welcome back. Just being a band at this day and age, man. Like you got to expect to not make money for a fair bit. Like if you're thinking about making money, to be honest, in before you've got an album out, you're mental. You know, it just is the way it is. You are
I think
spending.
if you're thinking about making money in music, you're just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you need
Like
to go
this.
somewhere else. You need to go somewhere else if you want to make money for a living.
Exactly. And I think that's why we've got the legs to do this because we're actually enjoying it. It's fun. If it was a fuck, we got to make money from this, otherwise we're not going to be able to survive or do all this, then you're dead in the water, in my opinion. You have
I
to.
think ever since day one, whatever money that we made from doing a gig or selling merchandise, it's gone straight back into the band. There's more that
Yeah,
you have to pay for. There's more things that you need to get. The bigger gigs that you get, there's more merch that you need to get. So kind of
Yeah.
fully aware that, we're not in it
right.
for the money. And even if we did have the money, we're not going to see any of it.
Well, the thing is, and when you dropped off for a second, we were talking about like how important it is to play every small town. Like once an album, of course, like playing it. But a lot of bands, I've had some bands that just do releases and they
Yeah,
can't tour, or the members are in different areas. And I get that. You just want to listen out, that's awesome. But what it's going to do to a band is they're going to stay in that same spot, which is going to be release album. And like you guys are a live band that plays live, a really good album coming out.
Yeah.
You're in a great position. You just got
Yeah.
to be boots on the ground and play as much as you can the next couple of years, whenever you can, as long as it makes sense,
yeah.
Exactly.
We've always
Exactly.
tried to stay authentic. We've done we've traveled 3 hours just to play in front of three people. Like we were fortunate enough to play Bloodstock before. There was like 2,000 people, and then the next gig after that was in front of 10 people. So, we
But that's
know,
important. I'm gonna tell you,
yeah,
a gig like that. I saw a band recently play, and it was poorly attended, not because of the band. I saw Christian Death play. I'd never seen them before, and they're
Yeah.
emo goth. Well, I don't know what they are. I'd never seen them before, and I went down to see the show. And they had technical problems. The place was a weird club. The whole kinds of stuff was just like would have been a nightmare for a band.
Yeah.
And Valor came on and he played and he kept his cool. It was a total professionalism. Awesome show, like we were playing for a million people. And then we had an interview afterwards. We talked about it a week or two later. That matters to other people. You don't know who's going to be there for that one, two people.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
that's going to affect 1, 2, 3 years later. Like I saw them at this club, and they
yeah.
played for me like there's 20,000 people. That's the real deal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And like
It's always 100% when you play.
someone said to us back in the day, and this was like early stages of the band, they said until you've played 100 gigs. And there has never been more truer thing said to us, I don't think. I think that might have been Howard from Acid Rain or something.
Rain, yeah,
Like weirdest comment, right? This was when we were just getting started and we were like trying to jump before we can run or whatever.
Right.
And we were like just getting turned away from like decent shows. So we were like, what's going
Yeah.
on here? Playing it, we love our stuff. We're very much in like what we do and we want to push it and we believe it's the best thing in the world, right? To an extent. And like we were like, okay, we're not getting very many good shows. What's the deal? What's the next step? And he said that, and we were I think we hit that last year, wasn't it? Or the year before.
uh, no, the year before, 24, wasn't it?
And it was
Yeah.
like, oh. And then all of a sudden stuff started picking up, and we were like, it's true. It's so
You,
weird.
you
Well, I
gain
mean, I
that you
think,
gain that experience in that stage, don't you? Like
Yeah.
when you first
And
start out, we were Ben's always been quite mobile on stage, where the rest of us were just standing still playing our instruments, and then it
mhm.
got compared to a 100th gig, it's night and day.
yeah, you still
Well,
stand.
I definitely, you're building it. Well, probably have to stand still because you probably bring on a stage and nowhere else has anybody else to go, no room to move around, right? Like a fifth and sixth band member. But no, but I've seen the clips. You got great energy playing. That then when you perform, which is appreciated watching, and as a band. But I do think I agree. I think you keep earning. The more you play, you get the word of mouth, you get the reputation. It doesn't matter how many Instagram followers. Yeah, it helps a little bit, but in the long run, platforms come and go. Someday it might get bought out and to be nothing. It could, or not, whatever. I'm saying, how many numbers if they don't show up at your show?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those things are not going to. It doesn't transfer over to your shows and album sales, the social media stuff. I don't know why these companies keep leaning into them so hard.
I know.
For numbers, it doesn't add up.
We're so fortunate to have just been quite stubborn at moving at our own pace, and I think that comes down to Hardip quite a lot. Like he definitely just has this thing about him where it's like, this is the speed we're kind of going, and without really telling you that we don't rush into stuff. And we've seen so many bands pay for likes, pay for all this, and get their social media higher than their ability to even bring people to a show. And you go in, booking agents love that. They actually will go and get a band with more people like them online, put them on a stage, and we'll go underneath them. We've got a good group of people come to our show. We come off. There's less people watching the headliner.
Right.
And that's not a reality, man. We've made an authentic
connection.
Well,
that's the thing. I think I've had artists too. They send me stuff like, you shut me on to interview you. I've had 1 million this, whatever. And I can go back and look at their socials and I can totally see what they're propped up. But if you're that big, all these numbers, you would be so huge. This is not even legit. So I think that's going to bite them, if they do get the gigs, it's going to hurt them so bad once they realize they're not filming it and it kills the promoter. They'll never get a gig again from that promoter. They will remember that. And it's an industry where people talk,
Yeah.
You come in, you play, you do your numbers, you don't play games, keep it legit. You earn a reputation that lasts for life.
Yeah.
And that's what Tony's done. And Tony's getting, and that's you just work. You do your gig and you play your music and you work and you're nice to everybody. That's your job.
That's it. No,
and you put out good music, no sucky music. Because nobody likes sucky music.
Don't play anything.
I guess there are some people like sucky music, cool looking musicians, but not this genre. This genre is pretty real. They will eat you alive, right?
You and a half do get eaten as well.
Yeah.
Right. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming on. We'll keep it a little tight today, but you're very welcome. I enjoy your music. When the album comes out, I'm gonna check out more, and let's catch up again later in the year, maybe. Play some gigs. I've heard the album.
Yeah.
We can kind of pick it apart more. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Let us know what you think when you check it out on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be good if it's like those 2 songs. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I think Tony would not have gone on a weak album, so I'm already pretty confident it's gonna be good. His stamp of approval. He's not gonna dial it in.
Nah.
He might have been nice to you, but he's not gonna dial it in.
It's so true. Yeah.
I mean, he built himself up to who he is, not by mistake.
Yeah.
He's a hustler and a worker. So
that's it, man.
If he endorses you, it's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah.
So props to Tony for doing it, setting it up. Thank you. And we'll
thank
talk
you
again
very
soon,
much.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Thanks, man.
This is the show's end, but not our goodbye. Sean says farewell to thee.
This is the show's end.
Till next time, or maybe not. Thanks for sharing your time.
This is the show's end.
Now go outside. Escape from all social media, except for me. Your doctor says take 2 of my podcast and call him in the morning. This is the show's end, but not our goodbye.
Every episode is packed with healthy things I can't pronounce.
I'm not like the bad internet.
I'm different, so very different.
'Cause my grandma says I'm special indeed.
That makes me laugh.
Break it down.
Oh, yeah.
This is the show's end. Electric blankets and sharks are scary.
Oh, so scary.
But sharks using electric blankets. Get me out of here. It's the show's end.
But not our music.
Then the singing.
Stop.